Hey everybody, this is Georgiana with Expressions Craft Studio. Welcome back.
Hey everybody, welcome back. This is Georgiana, and I've taken another extended absence, not because I'm doing anything special or fun, just because I've just lost my mojo. But I'm trying to make myself get that mojo back. So today we're back with our Project Christmas Cheer. We're up to 210 cards, and today's July 26th or 7th. I'm not sure. I could look, but I'm using my phone. So, oh wait, 27th. Okay, so what I'm going to do today is I'm going to finish up these other scraps of card pieces that I had, and we're going to put the card fronts together, and maybe we'll even get them on the card bases. Um, and then the next thing I'm going to do for the Christmas card project is I want to make some slimline cards. So that's probably going to be the next thing I do if I remember when I get there, especially if I take another, week or month off. But let's hope not. I really want to get back into this. So we're going to start putting these together today. May not get them all done, but we'll see what we can come up with. And I've got my bases up here. Let's see, let's put them here where we can reach them a little bit easier. And we're going to start gluing. I just want to make sure. I'm pretty sure I've checked my size on everything. I have. So with this one, actually, I kind of think I almost want a red base underneath it. So I might have to cut a piece, because I do think it might benefit from a red border around there. So I'm going to come back to this one. I'm going to think on it. This one, I've got a die cut here, which is probably almost okay. So that's not quite as big as the base of the card. I have a little bit of an edge all the way around. So we're going to put that down. We're going to cover that up with this, which I might want to ink around those edges a little bit. And then I've just got a tag I was kind of going to hang from somewhere. So, do I want to ink those edges? Yeah, let's just get this done. I tend to overthink everything, and I've really got to stop doing that. So, my glue's probably clogged because I haven't been using it. I don't even know when the last time I was in here. It was like a week or so ago, and I just kind of put these things together and then didn't pop back in here. I've had a lot of stuff going on. Nothing serious as far as physical stuff goes. I know I've kind of disappeared on some of my friends and some of my other groups, for which I am sorry, and I will be back. I just had a lot going on. I had a lot more back pain than I'm used to. Some problems with my thumb. I caught a really heavy piece of equipment, or tried to catch it years ago, probably 15 years ago now, at a job I used to have, and every once in a while I just have a lot of pain in this thumb. So that's been bothering me. Knees, back, I think I already said my back. So just just the normal stuff that comes with getting older. Nothing too serious as far as my physical health goes. We do, however, have a nephew. It's my husband's youngest sister's youngest child. I believe he's about 30, and we found out not long ago that he has a rare form of cancer, especially for someone his age, and the prognosis is not good. So that's been upsetting. And in the meantime, I've lost one of my aunts. It was my dad's last surviving sibling out of 13 total. And so, this is just things that kind of hit home. I hadn't seen my aunt in a lot of years, but I still see my cousins on Facebook, and they're having a lot of health issues in their family as well. Two of her children are going through it right now. So it's just been a lot of that kind of stuff, mental drain mostly. And then we had some mental drain here where we live, this park that we moved into when we realized we just weren't going to be able to get contractors out and afford the work that we needed to have done on our property to move out there. We moved into this retirement community for seniors. And initially we were so thrilled with it. We really felt fortunate to have found it. Felt like it was a real blessing, really. Let me grab my bone folder here. And, you know, one of the things that was a real important to us was our cat. She was a stray that came to us, and I fed her because that's just, you know, what I do. It's what a lot of us do, you know, those of us who have soft spots for animals. And after the second time feeding her, second or third maybe, she just came in the house and made herself at home and never left. So we brought her with us. She's part of our family. And, you know, it was very important to us that Danny understood that, and that, I don't want to name names, sorry. Pretend you didn't hear that. That the owner, park owner, understood that, and that he was okay with her being an indoor-outdoor cat because she preferred to use the bathroom outside. She did not want to use the litter box. We had tried. And he was like, oh, no, that's great. You know, they catch mice and stuff, which she does. She's a good mouser. But then more people moved into the park, and as more and more people came into the park, problems started arising. Some bad behaviors from some of these people started happening. I ended up moving that. They started causing problems. There was threats of physical violence against one of the other neighbors over a hunting dispute, which you can't hunt in the city limits anyway, so it really should never have been a dispute. I just put my finger in all that glue. And then it came to threats of gun violence, which, you know, it's now July of 2023. We've had more gun violence this year, at the first part of this year, than ever before. So, and this started in May. So threats of gun violence, I take them pretty seriously. For the first time ever, I felt unsafe in my own home, and we got our guns out and loaded, unlocked the cases they were in and got them out and got them ready in case we needed them, because not only was one of the newer residents threatening to shoot animals, and God knows if you know animals, then people come next, and then the owner called us one night and was threatening to do the same. And this was the same man that had told us our cat could go outside. And now he's telling us, no, she can't. And it wasn't even an issue of, you know, that the park has changed, it's grown, you know, we've got more people here now, and it's becoming an issue. It was, nope, I never said that. You know, he just wanted to deny that he had ever told us it was okay. And, you know, and I can only imagine what he was telling these other people. And so we got really upset about it. And it came to a head because another couple had moved in, and they also had an indoor-outdoor cat. And they were very adamant, and it was because he'd bought another park, and they were moving from that park to this park into a new trailer. And he had also told them, yeah, it was fine, cat could go outside. Well, some of the new neighbors didn't want to see that cat outside and made threats to them, whereas they'd never said anything to our face. It was always behind our back, which we didn't even know was an issue. I mean, how do you fix a problem if you don't even know there is one, you know? But they got right in their faces, and with all the threats and everything, and they only lived here like a month. They did a lot of work on their trailer. They put a lot of custom features in, like custom blinds and stuff. They put a beautiful deck on the front. They built a beautiful shed in the back. And they ended up losing money on it because the park owner wouldn't give them back the money they'd spent. They got a lot of their money back, but not all of it. They were still out several $1,000s. She never said exactly, I don't think, or if she did, I don't remember. But Yeah, so there's somebody else living there now, and this has all happened since May. And I forgot where I was, lost my train of thought. This is all still very upsetting to me. Anyway, it pushed me into a deep depression because for the first time ever, I felt unsafe in my own home, as I said earlier, to the extent that I took my weapon out of its case and made sure it was loaded and ready to be fired. And we don't have any children in the house, so that was a non-issue. But it's taken me months to get back to somewhat of a feeling of normalcy. And this was after a huge blowout. Finally, the park owner said, well, I'll send it out an email and telling everybody that it's, I'll be the bigger person and tell everybody it was my fault. And I'm like, well, you're not being the bigger person because it was your fault. You created this miscommunication and this problem by allowing it to simmer and not putting a stop to it. If anybody had ever come and said to us, I don't want your cat's been throwing up on my porch, or whatever the situation was, we would have done whatever we could to address it at the time. It didn't need to get to this point, but he let it get to this point because they don't manage anything. Their skill management. Anyway, that's a whole nother ball of wax. But anyway, it's taken me 3 months just to kind of get back, 2.5 maybe, to get back to where I am not sick all the time, and not stressed out all the time, to where I can see them come and go from the main house over there and not just be filled with anxiety. Sorry. Anyway, that's to explain my absence. I don't think I got that on there straight, but it's going to have to do. I'm still not sure how I want to attach this, if I just want to stick it on there or if I want to leave it kind of loose somehow. I don't really want to cover up the reindeer because it's so pretty. Maybe I'll just attach it down there. Let's get some, let's grab some of this stuff here. This is leftover stuff. Use this up. So anyway, that's where I've been, or where I haven't been. That's why I haven't been here, I guess. And we all go through stuff. We all have our, things we have to deal with. But this was the hardest thing I've had to deal with in a long time. The disappointment in realizing that this man wasn't everything that he pretended to be. I really thought he, not that he walked on water or anything, but I really thought he was a good man. And to find out that he's really not, he's just a really good salesman, was devastating. And, then there were threats about evicting us, even though we haven't done anything wrong. And so we had to point out that you don't have a legal leg to stand on. But he's kind of done that with others, I think. There are a lot of elderly women here who are widows, and, they don't have a lot of options. And so I think, well, I know he bullies women because we were on the phone with the other woman from the couple who had just moved in when we heard him stop by her house, and she didn't hang up, and so we heard the whole conversation. So we know he throws his weight around and bullies people, and so anyway, we are here still trying to make the best of it. At one point we thought we'd talk to a real estate agent, but reality is the resale on mobile homes just isn't what it is on regular housing, even though they're built much differently than they were in the 70s and 80s. There's still this stigma, which, my husband had it too, fell for it until we walked through some of the newer homes and did our research. And so, trying to get our money back out. And then there's just the hard work of moving. We just really didn't want to pack everything up again and find another place to live. And we didn't even know where we'd go. So here we sit. We're still here. We kind of know who we can talk to and who we can't. And We know who the troublemakers are, even though we were called the troublemakers, which I find very amusing because we've gone out of our way not to cause problems, you know. But anyway, so that's where I've been, and trash is just out of my reach. There we go. But we've been dealing with it and dealing with the heat, which is no joke. It's been crazy hot everywhere. It's not just here. All right, so what do you think? Now you can't really see it on the camera, but the deer has got a glittery look to the background. It's not glitter, it's a solid print, but in real life it looks glittery. So we'll set that one up there. Now let's go to this little guy. I think we'll stand him up. Okay, so he probably could use a base. So let me grab some scraps here. Let's see if we can find one that kind of works. I'm thinking darker. What do you think? Is that too dark? Oh no, I think that's nice. Okay. Set that there. So one of the new exciting things that I did get, or one of the highlights of my time away, was my new Tim Holtz paper trimmer. I got a little one because my 12 by 12 over there is just too big to bring over here when I need to just trim something. So I haven't even used this yet. So let's see here. So this needs to be, did I put that on there? Yeah, so it needs to be 4. Where's my 4? There's my 4. By 5 1/4. It's up all the way. Okay. Take me a second here to get used to my measurement since I have just got this. I feel like that back one isn't completely straight. Alright. So anyway, I'm really happy because now I can, you know, I don't have to get up and go to the other one. Whoops. I just dropped it in the trash bin. There we go. You know what, I'm not saving these. I've got so many of these little strips that I thought I'd use someday, and I probably just need to go and purge them all. Alright, so we're going to put this on here. And where's my scissors? That's got a little bit of fiber bits. There we go. So I'll put this here. I kind of like to line it up first and then put my glue down just a little bit. And I still didn't get it straight. I don't know how. I can't. I don't know why that's so hard for me. What I should do is cut these all out in the future on my Cricut and have it score me some lines every 1/4 of an inch in or something, just to make it easier for myself. Oh, and on top of everything else, my sister had surgery. It was a knee replacement, so it's not like it was life-threatening, but, you know, was still hard for her. Oh, and my cousin, whose mother passed away, she had to have a hysterectomy. So there's been a lot going on, even though, you know, we're not in their lives on any kind of regular basis. We haven't really spent any time with them since we were kids, other than, unfortunately, at funerals. You know, just a lot of stuff. Okay, so I definitely want this one to stand up like a so. Okay. Try and get it straightish. And for me, that's pretty good. You know what? Yeah, I'd already moved it. Can feel it slide just a little bit. Come on. All right, let's see if we can slide it just enough. I think we did it. So, I don't know if you were paying attention, if you noticed my little box of pre-cuts here. I actually got this tip from Melody Lane, and if you never followed her, you can still go out and see her videos. Unfortunately, she passed away about a year and a half ago now, almost. But that was something that she did. She had a bunch of scraps because she constantly was crafting and doing videos for people with the mostly Cricut, but she did other videos as well. And I thought, oh, what a good idea. Well, that one looks terrible. So I went and cut up a bunch of my paper and had it ready to go. And then I kind of have forgotten about it. And it's just been sitting there, so. Yep, sorry about that. Knocked my trash can over and it's got my trimmer sitting on top. Alright, so that's cute. This was something I made with some leftover scraps and some wrapping paper that I did. I did a video on that. I honestly don't know if I ever posted it. Maybe not. Kind of make a fingernail mark in there where I want that. And let's do the same with this one. Okay, so see if we can just get by with 2 of these. I don't know where I got this double-sided foam, what do you call those? Poofy bits, dimensional foams. Yeah, I'm going to put one more in the middle. I don't like it like that. I'm afraid it needs one more. I've had it for a long time, and I just kind of trying to use up some of this stuff without buying new stuff. And I say that, and then I go and buy new stuff. But I'm trying to focus on designing my own stuff instead of buying it, like papers and stuff, or ephemera. I have bought a lot of digitals that I can use to help, create my own originals, as well as stuff I could just print off and use. And I'm hoping to get more into that. I've actually had to spend a lot of time cleaning out my files on my hard drive because I was out of room and constantly getting warnings. So I've made a little bit more space, but I haven't made as much as I would like. Okay, let's see here. I'm going to turn this upside down just so I can see the corner better. And try and get this as straight. That's pretty straight. Yep, that'll work. All right, so there we go. So this background was some of the digitals I was talking about. That I'd purchased the background and then I added the deer and the cardinal. I actually meant to put that in this corner. I didn't want to cover up that cardinal. Oh well. So just, kind of combining stuff just to make prints. Now I still obviously need to do the inside and the back, but I'll go back and do those later. You don't want to see all that. So this is another one which didn't have the deer and the cardinal on it. I think this one will be okay like this, but I need another piece of backing. I think This is really bright blue. I don't know that I like this blue. Let's see. Get out a couple because I have more over there. Oh yeah, that's nicer. Okay, so let's get my trimmer back out and trim these. I'm so happy with my new little trimmer. Even though I guess I don't have to do it down that way. I can do it this way. So this is 5 1/4, and it's the 1/4 inch marks are on there. So instead of just 1/2 inch, which is what's on my bigger one. So that's the 1/2. So that's the 1/4. Yeah, I like it better down there on that end. But we'll do one more. So this one will be 4. That end's a little fuzzier. Cool. So there's 1. So this one's 4. And that's the fuzzy end. And 5 1/4. Excellent. All right. This one will go here, that one will go on that one. So we'll glue this down. Still getting some fuzzies. Fiber fuzzies. I don't know what to call those, but I call them hairs sometimes just because that's what they remind me of. That's pretty good. So try not to slide it around. Yeah. So just, I hate to keep going back because I really don't ever want to talk about this again, but the drama in our neighborhood or park, it was so bad that me and the new woman who also had an indoor outdoor cat, and there were other people who said, oh no, Danny told us that too. We actually ended up filing a police report because of the threats of gun violence. And of course, it's a very small town, and if you've ever seen those movies where it's a small town and the rich people are in charge, that's where we live. So the park owner, I pointed out that the park is within the city limits, as he likes to point out, and so we have ordinances to follow. Of course, the ordinance he was quoting weren't applicable because it was a cat, not a dog. But he apparently got wind from the chief that we had filed a complaint, and so he said something about firing his weapon in town or whatever, and I said, go ahead and I'll call the cops. And he goes, and you should have seen the look on his face. I mean, his mask totally slid off, and you could see, I don't want to say demon, but what I saw was the real person, and it was not good. And he quickly put his mask back on after he said, go ahead, see what happens, you know. And I said, I will. I said, I don't care who you are. I said, I don't care if you've got the cops in your pocket. You know, my husband and I were just, we weren't willing to back down because we knew we were in the right. So anyway, he did eventually send an email out to the park and tell everybody that it was just a misunderstanding, and he would take full blame. I'm like, well, it really wasn't a misunderstanding, Danny. There I go, naming names again. You did say that. So that's not a misunderstanding. We didn't misunderstand you. You've just changed your mind. And while we wouldn't have liked it, if you had come to us and said, look, there's some problems, we're going to have to change the way we do things, we would not have liked it, but we would have understood. And instead, they chose to do it the way they did it. So anyway, it's what we have found out from a lot of the other neighbors since all of this happened is that they've all the people who've been here a long time, they have all had problems with management, shall we say, and they know that they already knew what kind of person he was, so they weren't really surprised to hear it. But I can tell you, I was somebody who really thought the world of this guy. I went out of my way to help him and his wife, who's sick and disabled now, and to try to use my administrative background to kind of help them out and do things for them. And I never wanted any money for it, just trying to be a good friend and neighbor. I really thought the world of them, and now I see them for who they really are, and it's just very disheartening to realize that you can be that wrong about somebody. And I'm not usually. I think that was probably the hardest thing for me. I think that's why my depression got so bad, because usually I can spot a shyster a mile away. That has a little bit to do with my upbringing, but usually I'm pretty good at spotting people who are just blowing smoke, and they totally had me fooled. Totally. I mean, I'm still in shock, because I've never been fooled that bad. There's always been some kind of inkling. No, not with this. I was just totally floored. So, yeah, so it's been hard, and that's been a real struggle for me to try to get back into, doing the things that I enjoy. And if you've ever struggled with depression of any kind for any length of time, you probably know what I'm talking about. It's just it is not a fun place to be. Yeah, I like it. I might add, some of my little cardinals here, maybe down here. Yeah, let's do that. Let's see what we got in here. Although I do have, actually, I've got some vinyl that's bigger in different shapes. Let me grab those real quick. Yeah, I see them. So, okay, I gotta quit setting that there, because I'm just gonna keep knocking it off. So, where to put it? Oh, here we go. Okay, so, cut these with my Cricut, and this is a matte vinyl, although you can still tell it's vinyl. So anyway, let me pick out a bird here. Which one do we like? I kind of like this guy. I've never used this. This is a new tool. I usually use the one that I made myself. Yeah, it works if you can get it. The one I made myself is adjustable because it's a mechanical pencil. So I can make the needle come out further. This only comes out so far. Where do we want him? I don't really want him looking off the page. Let's put him over here. There we go. He's bigger than the little ones, which are in there. Let's put that back. Plus I had to clean up in my craft room. Oh, it was such a mess. All right, so that's what we've got. And he may get a few more additions, I don't know, but that looks pretty good. So let's do this one. Oh, I guess I should have grabbed more blue. I've got a lot of those. We'll put this one under here, and I've got my Joy stickers, or not stickers, but die cuts. Okay, get that kind of centered. Let's try it this way. Maybe it won't slide as much. I have been been watching a lot of crafting videos though. I always watch Scrapbooking with Me with Miss E. That's one of my favorites, and of course I always watch Artful Stamping with Ruth and the gang. Those are my peeps. I love that group of people. They're so wonderful. And Shabby Dabby Doodah, I've been watching her videos, and of course the Paper Outpost and Treasure Books and Seven Plaza. And then I found some new people I like as well. So I have been keeping busy, you know, as far as staying in the crafting kind of mode, just not physically crafting, just watching it. I like watching other people. I like getting ideas, inspiration. So we're going to put these on. I'm going to kind of, well, actually, let's just put the stickers on and then we'll position them. And I don't know how many I want to put on each one. Probably just 2. 1 would probably be good, but okay. So that's my O. Oops. That's my J and my Y. So I know I want this down here kind of. When I pre-placed these, I noticed it was coming really close to that baby's face. I don't want to cover up that baby's face. So I think I'll do it like that. So I'll put this one, because this one's already missing one of the sticky pieces, but I might as well take off the other one. Or not sticky, but the backing. Okay, so that comes all the way out to there. Yeah. So we'll do this one. Kind of space that out a little bit so it doesn't look too odd when my J is above my O. There we go. So if you've watched from the beginning of this series, and I don't blame you if you haven't, because it's pretty bad. Oh, that was the other thing. I'll tell you in a second. So anyway, these background pieces are scraps from the original first couple of episodes or videos where we were making these Project Christmas cheer cards for this coming Christmas. They were just scraps that were left over, so I cut them out, and then I used my Christmas wrapping paper that I attached, backed it with a piece of thin cardstock, and cut those out, and just using up scraps. I may be using those scraps up for the rest of the year, I don't know, but we will see. Now that's not as straight as I would like it, so we'll do this one on the front. Anyway, so the other exciting thing I got, because my videos were bad, people, and they're still not going to be like professional quality, because I'm not a professional. I'm just a, somebody who loves to craft. I'm not, you're not going to get a Hollywood production out of Gassville, Arkansas. You're just not. But I did get a new mic, so hopefully you will be able to hear me now, and that will cut down on the amount of editing that I have to do, because I really don't enjoy the editing. I just want to be able to sit here and craft and make a video and maybe do a tiny bit of editing and then publish my video. I don't want to have to spend hours and hours trying to edit a video and then have it still come out bad because the sound quality was so terrible. And then there were other reasons too. I'm not going to pretend it was all the sound quality, but that was a big portion of it, at least for me. And we've worked on my setup a little bit, so it's a little easier for me to manage. So anyway, I like it. What do you think? Isn't that cute? Hopefully that, isn't that cute? I hope that'll make somebody smile at Christmas time. So we've got another one. This is a bird with a joy. Let's see, I need 1, 2, 3. Oh, I need quite a few. Let me get the blues back out. Let's see what works good. This is the last of the dark ones, so I'll definitely use that. This one's okay. This one's way too bright. So put that back. So I'll just leave this little stack. Oh, that's a different color. But it's all right. So I'll use it too, maybe. So we're going to cut some more. So what I am going to do is I'm going to pause this video real quick because you don't need to see me cutting up a bunch more scraps or, you know, trimming a bunch more backs. And then I'll restart it. All right, I finished cutting a bunch of those out. And do this one. I'm trying to alternate between portrait and landscape just to keep them different. So now if I wasn't in a hurry to get these done, I would go back and cut out some kind of nice shape out of the middle just so I could use it later for a tag or whatever, but I'm in a hurry and I have plenty of paper, so I'm not going to worry about that today. Just want to get these done so I can move on to some other projects, because I really want to be able to take some of the projects that I see that people you know, cut by hand and score by hand and convert them to Design Space or the Cricut programs just for ease and convenience for people, because I can, and because sometimes it's easier for me and sometimes it's not. And for people who, especially people with arthritis who have a hard time with their hands, if they have a machine that'll do that for them, then why not? Plus, you know, it kind of takes the math out of it for other people, assuming I get the math right to begin with. I used to be really pretty good at math, but over the years, you kind of lose things if you don't do them a lot. Plus, and this has got nothing to do with the way I learned to do math, but they don't do math the way they used to. I tried to help my niece once, and this was years ago. She's 19 this year, just turned 19 actually, but I tried to help her years ago when she was still in grade school, and it's different. You know, I mean, I could get the answer, I could figure out what they wanted, but you know, she's like, well, that's not how you're supposed to do it, Aunt George. I'm like, well, what do you mean that's not how you're supposed to do it? And she's like, no, they want you to do it like this. I was like, I don't understand what you're telling me. You know, so in the end, I ended up not helping her because I couldn't do it the way they wanted to do it. And my thing is, and maybe there's a good reason for it and that I'm just not aware of, I'm always open to hearing what those reasons would be, other than to sell textbooks to people. But if you've got a method that works, why tell the kids they can't use it, even if, you know, it's different than the method that you're trying to teach them? If they can get the answer, because, you know, everybody learns differently, everybody does things differently, and so if they can get the answer and it's the right answer, and they did the math themselves, then why is it a problem? But anyway, that's neither here nor there. That was years ago, 9-10 years ago probably, or maybe even further back than that. Oh, lovely. So what do you think of this? I'm thinking I'm going to put it here in the corner, maybe like up there a bit. Let's get some dimensionals out. I do have dimensional tape, but I think I put it away and I don't feel like traipsing back over there to get it, and I've got tons of these, so we'll just use these and just kind of offset them every so often. Yeah, that'll work. So I'll take these off here. Kind of line that up just inside of the stitching on this this die that I used to cut that out. There's some little stitches. I don't know. You can kind of see them on here on the edge, but just kind of lining it up there. I spend way too much time cleaning up as I go, but if I don't, this place just becomes like a tornado hit it. So there we have. Cute, simple, cute, easy. Now we've got this guy, and oops, try to keep that out of the way. I like that. So we'll attach that. Wow. I lined that up like perfect, almost. Perfect enough for me on the first try. I used to be so anal and such a perfectionist, and I hate to use OCD because I've never been diagnosed, and it gets overused now by everybody who needs to have something special about them. But started taking some medication. It's been a long while now, and it's made me so less stressed about stuff that just doesn't matter. Maybe that's TMI. Maybe I shouldn't share all that, but I think they should put that stuff in the water. Other than the fact that the one medication doesn't work for everybody. You got to get the right one. So maybe they can't put it in the water, but it'd be great if they could. Okay, so there we got that. Now, I kind of like the idea of this one maybe opening like that. Let's see where I want to put. It can go up there. It can go. I like it down there, though, I think. Yeah, let's put it over there. All right. Well, before I do that, let me just see. It doesn't cover up as much, but that's okay. I like it this way. Wow. Push that down, take a quick look to make sure it didn't move, and it did, just a little bit. It'll be okay since it's pretty stuck. I don't know why, I just had a feeling that that moved that time, and it did. So I was my niece, what I'm going to call her, she's married to my nephew, but they have had a garden this year that's done really well, and she's been canning salsa and spaghetti sauce and all kinds of things, and I was like, oh wow, that looks really good. And I've had the salsa before, and I know for a fact it is good, but the spaghetti sauce looked really good too. She's like, well, I still have a bunch of tomatoes if you want some. And I'm like, oh yes, please. I need to relearn how to can. It's been such a long time since I've never done it myself. My mother and my great-grandmother used to do it, and I was always present when they were doing it, but I was just a kid, and so never having actually done it. But I know I can do it. I just haven't. But I need to, because I can just go to the farmer's market and buy a bunch of tomatoes, or even apples, and make my own apple pie filling, because I love apple crisp. I'm not one to make pie crust. I've just never enjoyed the process of making a pie crust. I can, and I have, but more often than not, if I'm making a pie, it's because I'm buying a pre-made pie crust. Yeah, I don't like the rolling it out, trying to get it the right thickness, all of that. I, at one time, had a wonderful pie crust recipe that I got from a lady I worked with, and somehow along the way, in one of my moves, I've lost it. It was the best pie crust in the world, and I can't do it. Let's see, which one do I want to do next? Well, before these get all spread out everywhere, just quickly pick those up. I think I'll save these for a minute and go on to this guy. Alright, so this one I like because it'll fit right down there in that corner. You can still see those cute little birds. So let's do this one. This is just another one of those printables. I added the birds from another digital graphics designer. And printed them out. Did 4 to a page and then cut them out. I like to use dies because one, it makes them nice and straight, and two, sometimes you get the decorative edges on them. Like these have the stitching lines. Oh, you stayed pretty straight. Thank you very much. Glue. Just spread that glue out. I'll put you on a stand up. So line him up. So I'm either getting better at that, or it helps to have nice straight 90-degree angled cuts. And I don't know which one is which, but I'll take it. Got a little bit of glue up there. Come on. My hands are sticky, so it doesn't want to come off. Well, I can't get a hold of it. Okay. It's so stiff it doesn't want to. Ouch. Go back to doing it like this. I need to clean out my nozzle again. It feels kind of clogged. So let's just put a pin in it real quick. Clean off that tip. Oops. Kind of like to run the tip of the needle through there just to kind of scrape the sides of the nozzle. Let's see if that helps clean it up any. All right. So hubby and I just got done watching Trust on Hulu, and it's about the Getty heirs and the trust that John Paul Getty the first set up, and the kidnapping of John Paul Getty the third, his grandson, and it's got Hilary Swank in it, Donald Sutherland, than a bunch of people. I don't know their names, but it was pretty good if you've got time for 10 episodes. I thought it was 6 or 8, which is what most of them are now, but it's 10, and it was pretty good. I was really young when all that happened, and that was before Google and everything, so I didn't remember a lot of it, but it was pretty interesting. So this was a background that I bought, another digital and printed, and I thought I'd lay this angel over the top, but I'm not sure if she really shows up all that well. I think she does. Let's try it and see. I don't think I want that blue though. But it does need, well, I don't know if it needs something or not. I guess it doesn't have to. Just make sure I get it fairly centered. Okay. Yep. Anyway, it was very interesting. The decadence and just the lifestyle that people that have that kind of money lead is it's amazing to me. Humanity kind of goes out the window. You just kind of become, I don't know, I don't even know what the word for it is. But it was still an interesting story, and John Paul III's life afterwards, he had a lot of problems after that and never really recovered, and then had something else happen and ended up being paralyzed for like 30 years of his life or more before he finally passed away. But what I found most interesting, other than the background, the overall storyline, was how these trusts are set up by, the one percenters, so that they don't pay taxes and all of that stuff. And that was part of the problem, was why the ransom was delayed in getting paid, was because Grandpa didn't want to pay taxes on it. Even though he had billions of dollars, and this was in the 70s, he still didn't want to pay taxes. And so it was just really interesting. And apparently you can still set up trusts like that if you've got the money to do so. I have not won the lottery yet, so I cannot set up a trust like that. And I don't have any heirs. My husband and I didn't have any children. Now we do have nieces and nephews, and we wouldn't mind setting up scholarship programs and stuff. But overall, we certainly don't have those number of people to leave billions and billions of dollars to, and was that perpetuity, where it just never ends? I'm not sure that's the right word. So I don't think I got it quite centered, but we'll take it. Now, I still have to find a sentiment for that one. Can you see the angel? Yeah, you can see her. She might have been better on plain white instead of a glitter white, but that's okay. So this, let's do this. This is another one that I actually got this one. I just downloaded this image. I didn't pay for it. I won't be duplicating it. And when I printed it off, I didn't realize that the ornament here was like 2 separate colors. So I don't know what happened with that, but I figured I printed it out, I might as well use it. Somebody will like it. So and you do want to be careful. Now, you can find free images on the internet, but you do want to be careful about downloading stuff that's still copyright protected. It's not centered, but oh well. Which is why I'm not going to be printing any more of these out, but I just liked it and I thought, oh, that'll be cute. I think I needed one more to fill up a page of 4, so I grabbed it. Okay, so got our joy, and I think I was just going to go across the top with this, leaving that main ornament visible. Maybe do that with it, and then you can't tell that that other ornament looks weird. So let's get us some more dimensionals. Last one. Okay, so let's try to find the center here. 5 1/2, so 2 3/4, 1, 2, somewhere right around there. Okay, so that's roughly the center. Or I could even just slide that down a little bit so it's at an angle. That's not bad either. Let's do that. Let's not overthink it. Let's just do it. So get you kind of centered in the corner. And we'll put you down next. That way I can center the O when I'm done. Or try to center the O. Let me clarify. There we go. I mean, you know, if you had calipers out, it might not quite measure up, but it's pretty close. Close enough for government work, as they used to say in the government. I didn't work for the government. Well, that's not true. I did for a while, but not the federal. Just the state, but my husband did. Okay. So the rest of these are smaller and might need something different in the background. We will see. Might need to do some more cutting on those. Definitely need something in the background of that one. Oops, I keep tapping that. Oh, I don't know about that though. Oh well, I guess it doesn't totally suck. That could work. We'll do that. These are some more digitals where I've added different things, like the hat and the snowman and the sentiment. And I think I even added that bird, actually. Let's see here. So it's kind of like scene building with stamps, except I'm doing it with digitals. Okay, so I will want to get my corner rounder and round the corners on that one, or even one of my corner punches and make it decorative. We'll see about that. How many more of these do I cut 3 more, so this one's a good size one, so that'll work. Now this was one I bought, but it still came out blurry when I enlarged it, so I don't know about that, but that'll work. And then this one's nice and big. Does it need... Let's try put one behind it just to see what we think. Yeah, that definitely helps, but I think this might be a better shade of blue for it, which I'll have to trim again because I didn't trim this one. Oh, maybe not. Maybe not. Yeah, we'll just stick with that. All right, so that leaves us with these 3 and then the first one that we had. So again, I'd want to do the corner rounder. That looks good. That looks good. Yeah, I think we'll stick with that one. So then I need something for these two. Maybe a red one, since there's red on here. Here's a nice deep red. What do we think? I kind of like it. I think we'll go with that one. And then for this one, it's mostly blues. There's a little bit of green. I could maybe do a green. Let's see here. Oh, here's a dark. Oh, there we go. That'll work. So I need to trim these 2. Okay, put that back up there. So trim those backgrounds. And then, you know what? I still need, I think I decided I wanted a red for the back of this. Is this, I don't know if that's the right color of red with these ribbons. That's going the wrong way. Yeah, that's a little bright. Let me see if I can find. Or a little dark. I mean, this. Oof. Is this? No, that's pretty. Now that might work. I don't want it to look pink. Okay, so I don't know. I'm not real happy with that red. Let me keep looking. So that's too pink. That's the red that's there. That's this one, which I didn't like either. What about this one? You know, I don't think I have another green, but I could even use green on this one, couldn't I? Yeah, let me see if I've got a green scrap. Because I'm not loving any of these reds. Found some more greens. They weren't all in the same place. Well, now I'm thinking I might want to switch them up a little. That looks good. But does this look all right? I like the other green better, but that doesn't suck. But then does the red ribbon look okay on there still? I keep laying that down the wrong way. Yeah, I think it does. So let me try a brown. What about a different blue? I think that's too light. Yeah, I don't like it. this might be all right. Oh, I like that. Let's do that. Okay, so that I need to trim, and that I need to trim, and that I need to trim. And this I need to trim. Why do I have 4 there? Oh, because I was going to put this one back. Okay, so we'll trim these 3 and we'll glue those together, and then I'll probably put you on pause, actually finish gluing these all together, and then come back and show you the final toppers or cards. So we'll be right back. Alright, I'm back, and I finished mounting the rest of these card fronts, putting them together and mounting them, and we'll just do a quick look. Most of these I printed the sentiments right on there. So now that's those same ornaments that were on this other one, or I think, yeah, but they show up better on a background other than white. I love that saying, winter kisses and snowflake wishes. And then this one, I really like this paper, but I ended up with kind of a big blank spot here, so I may come through and put something else down here. I don't know what, but I pulled this out of my stash too. It's a foiled font backed with a piece of the Christmas wrapping paper from a previous year's. So there we go. So what do we have here? Let me see. Should have counted these already. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I could use a sentiment on that one. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 more to add to our total for the year, which 17 more will bring us to 227. So that's not too shabby. And like I said, I think the next ones I want to do some slim lines, because I want to be able to use this. Now, regrettably, I did not know, and I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, there you can kind of see those little squares in the background. That is you can see right through the paper. It's so thin, and I didn't realize that, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to cover that up and use it or not, because it kind of bothers me, even though I think the snowmen are really cute. So maybe I'll just keep it low and then put some fake snow mounds in front of them or something. I don't know, but yeah, I didn't realize that, but I thought I'd turn these into slim lines. So we'll see. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. I forgot about those, that I could see the lines through there. But anyway, 17 more cards. I've forgotten which week we're on, because there's so many weeks I didn't do them, but I think we're still ahead of schedule. In fact, I know we are. So, yeah, so that's where we're at. I'll put a sentiment on this, and then I'll finish putting my message on the inside and my information on the back, and those will be done. And then hopefully I can start doing some other stuff, like covering some boxes that I've been saving, because this little box is perfect for my little mini envelopes with my odds and ends. And we'll see. I've got a lot of other stuff I want to do, and now that I've been back in here, I'm a little bit more in the mood. So hopefully that will continue. So anyway, thanks for joining me. I think that's it. Again, these cards are for Cards for Soldiers, as well as the Angel Card Project. Both very worthwhile causes that send cards to people I'm working on Christmas, but both of them will take cards at any time of the year. Angel Card Project works a little differently in that if you join their Facebook group, sometimes people request cards throughout the year for different reasons. Whereas the cards for soldiers, they take cards and then they fill them out and send them home to their loved ones. So they take cards for every reason, not just Christmas, even though Angel Card Project is primarily Christmas. So I will put the links for those two groups below. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. And if you have any suggestions or critiques, be kind if you don't mind, but I would love to hear them because I really am trying to do a better job with the videos. I did just get a comment yesterday, or yesterday was when I saw it. It was pretty recent, from somebody who saw one of my videos from 2 years ago, which was actually on troubleshooting some problems in Design Space, and she was very grateful and said it helped her a lot. It was a different kind of video than these, but I do try to put some useful content out there, so I hope you like it. Again, I would love to hear from you. I'd love it if you liked and subscribed and all that good stuff. And I'd love to hear, if there's something you want to see, even if I've never done it, we can have a go at it, see what we can do. I love trying new different styles and techniques. So until next time, happy crafting, happy crafters.